This video may contain triggering topics such as abuse, sexual abuse, domestic violence, and sexual assault. The point of this video is to spread a message, my experience as a bystander in such topic, and what bystanders can do with the sheer knowledge of the certain topic being discussed. This video is not meant to exploit this situation to my gain, but to spread a message and awareness. Please watch the full video before sharing your opinion, if you wish to do so. My thoughts were very cloudy, so getting my words to come together and be exactly what I wanted them to be was hard. Hey guys, what's poppin'? It's Star up in this piece and welcome back to another video where today is not the most of exciting type of video I would like to make. I'm making it for the sheer spread of knowledge and enlightenment, I guess you can say. I don't want to make this type of video, not because I don't think it's necessary, because I feel like any video or any spread of message of this type of information needs to be shared and expressed. But I don't think that it is my place to express it because I have never personally experienced it. But I feel like coming from me, I'm trying to figure out the right words, I'm sorry. If I butcher this, I'm really sorry. I am trying to formulate my words to the best of my ability and trying to come at this at such a logical way instead of emotional, but it is an emotional topic for me, at least. The general society of America, or life in general, a male's perspective on this type of topic is always pretty biased. That's my view and what I've seen in it. This is my view on this topic that I've seen a male's perspective on, and I feel like it's very uneducated. Again, my view on it and how I've seen it through a male's eyes, like them explaining it to me, is not always the same as my explanation of it. So I have decided to give my opinion on this subject, even though I, again, never have personally experienced it. It is something that every human goes through, or every human has the chance to go through. I'm sorry, that's the right wording of it. Every human has the chance to go through, and I've never experienced this type of topic that I'm going to go into. Sorry, I keep looking that way. I'm trying to think. Sorry, this is gonna be a lot of cuts. I kind of wanted to make it not cutting, and I might still do that because it is not a funny video. Like, it's very serious. I just keep saying though. But I have experienced something of the sort, and we're not going to get into that right now, but I never experienced a specific thing that we're talking about. And so, other than witnessing it, which is what I'm talking about exactly. So, the other day at work, I've had a bunch of bad experiences at work, because again, I've worked at retail. That makes the experience at work bad. It's the customers. It's never really the employees. I get along with all my employees, for the most part. And, we were just about to close, and this, oh my goodness, I hate talking about this. This happened a few days ago, and I meant to make the video earlier, but it never happened. Oh my goodness, this is making me uncomfortable already. It was a guy and a girl, and the girl and guy walked in, and the guy was already being, like, a little, like, frantic. I don't feel comfortable talking about this. I need to get this. I need to at least show my perspective on it, because maybe it'll enlighten some of you, or maybe you can enlighten me. And the guy, I'm tearing up already. The guy was just being weird, and the girl was just kind of quiet, and I was vacuuming, and the guy was just kind of like frantic, and you can tell that. And the girl was just standing there, and I asked them, like, hey, are you guys ready to check out? And they were like, yeah. I said, are you waiting for me? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And so, they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And I walk around the counter to go check them out, and they're not ready yet. And then the guy finally is ready, and he has Starburst. And he checks out with the Starburst. And the lady is paying for him. but I think it's with his card, and I'll explain that later in a second. And she's checking out, and the lady already looks shook. Like, something is not right. So I'm really nice to this girl. I'm trying so hard to, like, I'm thinking about if I should ask her if she's safe, because sometimes you ask people that and they get triggered and they're like, oh my goodness, like, I can't believe you would expect that from my boyfriend / husband / whatever. You're so rude, blah, blah, blah. And then the boyfriend, and I just don't have time for that. So I would just let it go. And the lady's checking out, and for some reason her card wasn't being read. And she was getting a little, I don't want to say angry, but you can tell she was frustrated and kind of like shook. That's the best way I can explain it. And I said after 3 times, it lets you swipe the card instead of inserting it with the chip. But if the card starts getting red, I didn't mention this part, but I was thinking it because some people wouldn't understand this part because it's very hard for me to explain by itself. You insert the chip 3 times, and if it doesn't work all 3 times, you can swipe it. But if the card starts to get red one of those times, it basically restarts the process. So like if it starts to read it and then it says, whoops, canceled, like if it says processing and then it says stop and then it says, oops, I can't read it, then you need to restart the 3 times. If you insert your card and it automatically says cannot read, then, that's the 1 time out of 3 that you can keep going. So every time she got to the 3rd time, it just kept saying, like, processing, and then it would cancel it. So she would need to do it another 3 times. And I told her that, like, and she was getting upset with me, and she was like, it's not my card. Like, it's not my card. And I was like, okay, like, well, you're not supposed to be hanging with it anyway, but I didn't say that, because if it's not her card, I was assuming it was his. And he was, like, wandering around the store, like, around the front area, just, like, talking to himself or whatever, mumbling. And I felt so bad, because this lady looked kind of scared. But, like, I couldn't tell if it was anger or just being scared, so I started getting defensive, and I was like, listen, like, I can't help you. This is not my fault. I'm sorry that you're going through that, but, like, we can't do anything about it. And she was like, well, it's your machine. And this is, like, one of those times where, like, you really never know what someone could be going through. And I could sense it, but, like, I didn't jump to any assumptions or conclusions. Obviously, you never want to in this type of situation. And then the guy started to touch her. He grabbed her chest, he grabbed her behind, he was just, literally, just out of freaking nowhere. And it was a very uncomfortable situation for both of us, I can tell. Of course, why did I even say that? That's stupid, that's so selfish. It's not my place to, I don't feel bad for feeling uncomfortable. I feel bad for her. I don't care that I was uncomfortable, because I don't have the right to feel bad for feeling uncomfortable. I feel bad for her. That's why I was so uncomfortable. I was so shook, and I was literally frozen. When this started happening, I was just frozen. I was literally like I was just like that. I did not know what to do. I didn't know if I should call someone, because the guy was right next to me, and I'm not a fighter. I don't fight. I have no body strength. So if I was afraid if I, like, freaking, because we have things called, like, we have, like, things around, I don't want to say the name because that might expose where we work. But we have, like, things on, like, the side of our pants that we can, like, talk into, like, the thing. And I can say something, but I'd have to call a specific person and say, like, their name, and then it would call them. And I didn't want to do that, because then the guy might have noticed that I was getting somebody, and I didn't want to pick up the phone and call 911, because then I was afraid something was going to escalate. So my mind was going crazy. I didn't know what to do, and the girl just kept saying, stop, stop. And then she was like, you made your decision. So I'm guessing maybe he, like, cheated on her or something. I don't freaking know. That's not the point. And then after he did all that, the card freaking worked. I was so angry that happened, because right as he started doing that, he then, like, stopped finally and walked away. And I was about to pay for the lady's stuff, because I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. Like, I don't know what to do, but, like, I was like, I'll just get it. But it went through. It freaking went through after the freaking fact that this poor woman just got. Okay. So, the reason I am making this video is not to put this woman out there and embarrass her even more, because I don't even know her name. I don't I don't know any information about her, and even if I did, I wouldn't give it out because that would be possibly shaming her and putting her out there, and I'm not doing that to do this. I am not here telling somebody else's story for my gain. That's not my job. That's not my business. I don't do that. That's not right. I am doing this. Not to get pity for myself either. Like I said earlier, this is not, it's not my, I'm not here to worry and complain about my uncomfortable experience in this. I am upset that this happened in the first place. In this world, women get treated less, period. Black woman is one of the most degraded and hurt, like, human in the world. This woman was not black, but just saying on, like, a scale, the black woman is treated the worst, and it sucks. It freaking sucks. I've never experienced it, obviously, but I know it sucks, because that is, imagine being the same species and having the more knowledge, sometimes, most times, and being treated less than, just because you are a different color, a different ethnicity, that's the wording, and a different race, that's the right wording, and a different gender. Anyway, this woman was British, though, or at least some place from England, because she had an accent, I can tell, or she just grew up with parents from there, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Right now, I'm talking about women specifically, though. Women in general, not race, and not anything. I just mentioned that because that is a fact. 1, 2. It is just about women in general, because even though I advocate for everybody to be equal, every single gender, and every single gender has to deal with this type of sexual misconduct, I feel like women are treated worse with it. Maybe that's because women getting treated this way, are brought more to the forefront. But in this instance, it was a woman. And I just want people to know I'm a feminist. And I advocate, for the, whatever Beyonce song, freaking Flawless, that lady, whatever she says is what I advocate for. The equality of the sexes. Period. And women get treated so freaking trash in society, and it lets them put themselves lower sometimes than they should be putting themselves at, and put themselves in boxes that they shouldn't be placed in, because most of the men out there don't freaking care what they do and what they are. And they put themselves in any box, except when it comes to, like, toxic masculinity, because then they don't put themselves in certain boxes that they can be allowed in. That's a whole different video. But, in this specific case, please, I made this video to make I keep saying that, 13 minutes in, I don't want to make this too long, I don't want to make any jump cuts. The main purpose of this video is just to please spread this message of women deal with a freaking lot from people, society, mostly shown the opposite sex, and it isn't okay. You think you have the right, and then old people, or people in general, I keep saying specific people because that's the people that I have had interactions with, but people in general want to freaking tell women what to wear because it attracts. Freaking mind your own business, ho! I get so triggered because it's like, this woman was wearing freaking pajamas yesterday, freaking covered head to toe, and he still touched her. Stay in your own place, please. Do not tell another woman to do with their body what you want them to do, because that's not your place. Even if you are a woman telling another woman what to do with her body, don't do that, because that's not your place. That's not your place. It's not my place to tell you what to do with your life, but it's also not your place to tell what women need to do with their lives. Or people. Yeah, just please, if you are a person and you are in a situation like this and you need help, I will leave some, like, links down below about places to, like, get help with about stuff like this. Just make sure that you realize you have the same amount of power as this person. Maybe not physically, or maybe not knowledgeably, smartly, I don't know what the freaking word I'm trying to think is, but you are powerful in your own way, and you can conquer anything. You can take over anything that you want to if you put your mind to it. And if you want to get out of that situation, honey, please do not tell yourself you have to stay there. This woman may have been on a path to get out of this situation, and this just may be a plan in her step towards leaving this situation, if it is a bad situation, because again, I don't want to assume, maybe this just was a one-time thing, I don't know, it just looked really messed up to me, and she looked like something was not right in their relationship, but I don't know what her plan was, but I pray and I hope that she is safe, and that for any of you out there that may have experienced this, has a plan as well. Stay safe. If you need help, I'll leave some links below, and I need to wrap up this video, but please let me know if you have any thoughts on this below, and hopefully my words formulated well. I don't know how much I'm going to edit this video, because I really want it to be straightforward and to the point, and I want all my thoughts to be expressed, uncut, unclipped, but this is 21 minutes long, and nobody's going to want to watch 21 minutes of me just rambling. But if you do, and you watch the whole thing, I appreciate you, I love you, and just be safe this holiday season. I hope everyone has such a happy holidays, and I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, keep your heads up high, and I will definitely be seeing you guys next time.